How racist is Slovakia, and why is everyone always asking me, how's the racism in Slovakia? It seems to be the first thing I get asked whenever people are deciding whether or not to come to the country to study medicine or dentistry. So let's get into it. The reason why a lot of people seem to believe that there is a massive racism problem in Slovakia is due to maybe the propaganda they're hearing from the media, which is based around Slovakia once being part of the Soviet Union. So, because of this kind of legacy thinking and understanding that, Russia and the East had it in for anybody who wasn't white, it just has seemed to stick, unfortunately, and it seems to be the first thing that people go to. I've had a few students that have asked me that, can you give us a bit more of a breakdown around the racism in Slovakia and how bad it really is from your perspective? And it kind of baffles me. It seems to be a very constant question that I'm asked all the damn time, and I really don't understand why. Again, it just goes to show the power of the media, sadly. For me, it seems as though I've had more of a challenge when it comes to racism back home in the UK, actually, which is weird because it's a lot more multicultural, more diverse. But I think within that, then you start getting these formations of brackets and different factions, so to speak, and which is why we get a lot of hate in the UK amongst different races. Now, when I've been here in Slovakia, I've not actually had any racist issues that I've dealt with. There's been one random situation which happened that was during a Sunday league football match here locally. And unfortunately, what tends to happen there is that you get some, I guess, heightened emotions. The other team were losing. They wanted to say something. One guy said something. He, for some weird reason, he used the N word against me, which is a bit weird. And that was it. That was kind of quashed quite quickly, and it meant nothing. Beyond this, I've not ever come across any form of racism. And I've spoken to people at this uni. There's a lot of Middle Easterns here. There's a lot of people from India and Pakistan here, and people that are not even at my uni that are in the engineering uni. There's a lot of diversity here at the within the city. It's a student city, right? So people are used to seeing us here. And they understand that we're here for the right reasons. We're not just, freeloading off the government, but we're here to study and become something and offer something to society. So there's like I guess, an underlying respect towards students, especially foreigners that have come over, and we get treated quite well. There is one thing to just bear in mind that the Slovaks have a bit of a stern face. So when you bump into them in the street or when you're looking at people, you might think as though this is a very unfriendly bunch. The reality is, it's just who they are as a people. But the second that you say hello to them, or the second that you try to interact with them, I found that they're actually quite curious to understand more about you. Where are you from? Why are you here? What are you doing? How are you finding the country? They're quite proud in terms of their nation. And if you give them the compliments which they deserve about their country, then they're super happy to kind of look after you. So I've made some great Slovak friends here. My teachers have been great so far. All in all, the experiences that I have to share have been super positive, and I cannot say that I've encountered any form of racism here, other than that one time on a football pitch where, as I said, emotions were heightened. So, not really an excuse, but it can happen, and I can understand that. I'll give you another quick example. Actually, I'm sort of surrounded by a lot of old people where I live. So these are guys that maybe have got a lot of history when it comes to Slovakia, the Soviet Union, so to speak. So they would have that maybe embedded more in the way that they've been raised. But even they are the most pleasant people that you will ever bump into. They're always the first to say good morning to you when you're walking out of your apartment, going to uni. They're giving you sort of like, a wave to see how you're getting on. They'll ask you how things are going. And although the communication's a bit rough because they're speaking Slovak and I'm speaking very broken Slovak, we still get to the end result, which is just them smiling, waving, just seeing how you're doing, and then kind of letting you get on with your day, which is really, really nice and pleasant. The people here are very, very decent people. They have good standards and morals. There is no sort of sense of criminality here that I have seen. And this brings me on to my second point of the video, which is how is the crime dealt with in the country? Now, typically here, there is quite a present police force. So you'll see police on the streets walking around. They'll be driving around their cars, patrolling a lot. And there's a lot of respect towards the police here. So within the UK, I feel as though because people kind of take the mick out of the police, they don't really respect them enough. We don't value them, and therefore there's a higher level of crime within the UK. People get away with a lot more as well. And when it comes to punishment, I think the UK kind of public, those that are criminals, do not get dealt with as severely as maybe other countries. Here in Slovakia, it's a complete twist around. So people really do respect the police here. And because of that, the level of crime is a lot lower, in my opinion, than it is in the UK. And from what I've experienced, late on at night, especially when you're walking around, a lot of people are at home and in bed, tucked away. But still, there's going to be police cars driving up and down, and that makes you just feel a lot more safer. I've not come across anybody who's reported any sense of or any violence or any sort of abuse against them, especially in the night hours. And I actually go for walks in the middle of the night because I find it so calming. It's very peaceful here. And for a lot of people that ask me, that are maybe girls or people that lack confidence, that don't like these social situations, and they really hate being out at night, I would say to them, this is a very comfortable country to be living in throughout the day and at night. So you won't feel that, I need to check over my shoulder kind of vibe throughout the time that you're here. So when it comes to racism, in my opinion, not dealt with it. And I genuinely feel that this country does not have a racism problem. I feel as though there's a lot more in the UK. And when it comes to crime generally, I've had nothing criminally done against me or any of my friends. And I think because people respect the police, that will continue to show itself in the form of being a very safe country. I hope this video has helped you guys out with the questions that I get a lot around racism and crime. Hopefully put you guys at ease, and that you do make the decision therefore to come to UPJS, Slovakia, or any of the Eastern European countries, because generally I feel as though they do get a bad rep for no reason at all. Anyway, I hope to see you guys on the next one. If you have any feedback, please leave it in the comment section below, or any videos you'd like me to cover, then I'm more than happy to do so. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.